Welcome to Santos Brothers Eats.
Food worth mentioning. All right, so welcome back everyone to Santos Brothers Eats, where we're going to be talking about definitely this week some food that is just worth mentioning. I'm here with my brother, Chef Jeff. Jeff, good morning.
Hello. How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's doing all right.
Certainly are. And why is today food that is definitely worth talking about and food worth mentioning?
Well, today we're going to talk about, let's say, the more unusual foods that we've eaten or that we know of. But I think we've eaten most of this list, haven't we?
I'm looking at the list. Yeah, we've eaten all. Actually,
Okay.
I have. You have. Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. So these are kind of weird foods, and even in some of our past episodes when we talked about our special burgers, like with how we put peanut butter on our burgers, some people will find that weird. But this is like some of these foods that we're going to mention are actually they're foods that people from different cultures that they like, then they eat and they enjoy. And for someone that isn't familiar with that culture, they might find that food kind of weird or kind of unusual. There's even a show called by Andrew Zimmern. I don't know if you've seen it, Jeff. Have you ever seen Bizarre Foods?
I have. Yes, I have seen a bit of Bizarre Foods. Yes.
Yeah, so that there's things up there like stinky tofu, which I haven't had. Have you had that, Jeff? Stinky tofu?
I have.
Oh, we should talk about that right now because I haven't.
Okay.
Had it. Yeah. So it's stinky tofu. What is it, and where did you have it?
So stinky tofu, if you've ever been to an Asian night market or an Asian market, I know that there won't be any happening in the near future. If you've ever been to one and you have this very acidy smell that just goes into you and you're like, what is that? That is stinky tofu. And it has one of the more longest lineups in any stand that you will see. You'll see lineups for like grilled squid. You'll see lineups for takoyaki. You'll see lineups for almost any food at an Asian night market. But the lineup for stinky tofu is by far one of the longest ones. And basically what it is stinky tofu is a Chinese form of fermented tofu that has a strong odor. And that's all it is. It's fermented tofu. It smells like it's gone bad. And they sell it as is, or they sell it deep fried slightly, just to get it nice crispy.
Is there like a breading on it?
There can be like light breading of panko or something like that.
Okay.
But it's just breaded lightly. And it's mostly sold outside because the smell is that bad. Or some bars in Asia will sell it as a side dish with their food. But yeah, like I said, if you ever go to a food market, night market, and there's that smell, that is stinky tofu. And I've had it. I forgot which night market it was.
Well, I imagine were you with Diana when you had it? I
was Diana, and I was my comedy troupe Asian Exploitation. And we had it. We shared an order. I think there were like 3 or 4 pieces of it. And I knew I couldn't eat all of it right away at all. So at least there was quite a number of us that shared it all. And it's one of those foods where I had it once. I could say I had it, and I won't have it again.
Now, so I'm assuming that since you've had it and you're not going to have it again, that you didn't like it.
Yes, I didn't like it myself, but like I said, people do like it. It's
it has long lineups, and I remember being at a night market and seeing a long lineup for it. And when Jeff says that there's a very distinctive odor, you can smell it everywhere. And this is an outdoor market, and you could smell it, like really, really smell it. And I haven't had it just because the lineups weren't that long. And I want to have it just to say I've had it. Kind of like you.
That's right. But I remember when we took Mason to the night market, he was always saying, "What is that smell?"
Yes.
What is that smell? And
just to remind our listeners, tofu. Mason's my young son.
Yes.
He is. So what is that smell? Yes. So that's kind of funny. So
thank God it was nice windy days. So depending on which aisle we were going down, the smell wasn't that bad. But yeah, we always came back to that one place in the market. You always do.
Well, what does it taste like?
So people have compared to like the Asian version of blue cheese. But to me, there's a bit of like an ammonia taste to it as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it is very chemical tasting, but people love it. Like I said, there is lineups galore for stinky tofu.
Now, as far as being fermented, is that for storage reason? Is that for almost like pickling reasons? Like it just lasts longer as it's fermented? Is that why they do it?
So I'm reading here on Wikipedia. Yeah, basically what it is. Like this gentleman, he was trying to sell his tofu, and he couldn't sell enough of it. So he put the small tofu in cubes and put them in an earthen jar. After several days, he found the tofu had turned greenish and becomes very smelly. And at first he thought it was bad, but then when he tasted it, he said it was delicious and he started selling it. And then it just became popular. And yeah, that's how it became. Actually, it was called the Imperial Green Cubes back in the Qing Dynasty. So yeah.
Well, there you go. If you ever have a chance to try, or if you ever go to an Asian market and you're wondering what on earth is that smell and why are people lining up, it just might be that stinky tofu.
No. It is.
It is
that stinky tofu.
It is. That
no
ifs,
tofu. Ands, or buts. It is that stinky tofu. Trust us.
Absolutely. So, and I haven't had it. Jeff's had it. He's never having it again. Will I try it? I just may try it. But it has to be the right circumstances. Like I do not want to wait in line for a long time for something that I probably won't like.
Yeah.
But if I do it, I will have the cameras rolling just so that we could have that reaction. So, stinky tofu. And then, just because you mentioned, bars might serve it as a side, item, like, kind of inside. I'm going to, call an audible and just throw out sisig. And this is something I mentioned before.
Yes.
And it is delicious. Sisig is basically, I don't know how to say it, a sizzling pig face, basically.
Yes.
Right?
The traditional sisig is sizzling pig face.
Yeah. So like when you go and get fajitas at a Mexican restaurant and it comes out on the sizzling platter, and they have a great presentation, it all comes out and it's all sizzling and everyone's looking at your table or if someone else at the other table orders, you're like wondering what on earth that is. Sisig kind of is like that. When it comes out, it's on this sizzling plate and it is just basically gelatinous pieces of the ear, pieces of the face. It's all of that connective tissue and it's all that skin. And it is really, really tasty. But a lot of people, they're kind of turned off when they realize it's the face of the pig.
Yeah. Like you won't see like actual pieces of the face. Like it is cut up small enough that it's just pieces of meat.
Well, yeah.
People enjoy it.
It's a face. Yeah, you can't tell. It's cut up small, like the size of like pencil erasers. Like it's small. And this is something when the Navy bases, either Subic or Clark Naval bases out in the Philippines, they would actually, I guess this was, I don't know the timeline on this, but I guess after World War II, when the U.S. troops were over there, and actually for a long time afterwards, the bases would actually they would get a pig and they would throw out the pig's heads, or either throw them out or give them to the locals, and the locals would be all over it because they would use it for sisig. And I love sisig. I don't know, Jeff, are you a fan of it or no?
Oh, no, I like it a lot too.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the last time I was in Manila, my cousin and her son, L.A., first thing, they picked me up at the airport and they said, "What do you want to eat?" And I said, "I want sisig." Like I just,
nice.
And we went straight from the airport to a place near their home that sold sisig, and it was very, very good. And I'm looking forward to next time I go to Manila.
Nice.
Now I remember I had sisig. Where was it? It was at the food truck. I think they're called. You're gonna have to remember the name, Jeff. Is it Tuno Uno or 31 or something like that?
Yeah, Tin Uno. Tinuno, I believe it is. I'll look them up, but I believe that's what it is.
Have a look them up. They actually make their sisig. This whole time I thought it was out of pork skin, but they actually make it out of chicken skin.
Yes.
And when I heard about that, I was like, wow, it tastes really good. This whole time I thought it was pork. And so they're out in like the Bathurst and Wilson area, kind of like, actually I'm guessing they're out in Bathurst and Wilson area, kind of like, that's like the little Manila.
Little Manila, yeah.
Of Toronto. And so we're gonna find out who they are, make sure that they are in the show notes. So
actually, no, Tinuno is actually in Cabbagetown.
They yeah, they're Parliament. Sorry, that's Parliament, right? Yeah, so Sherborne and Wellesley area.
Oh, okay.
Sherborne and Bloor to be more exact.
Oh, so they're Sherborne. Okay, Sherborne and Bloor. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that we found that out because they make
Yeah.
awesome sisig. Even with chicken skin, awesome.
Yeah.
Sisig. Sherborne, and do you say Sherborne and Bloor?
Yeah, Sherborne and Bloor. FYI, there are a lot of Filipinos in there, and actually, our mom lived in that area when she first came to Canada.
She did. Yeah.
Yes.
Way back. So yeah,
way back when,
or I guess our mother used to live there. Yeah, absolutely. So sisig again, fried. There's more than fried. It's like sizzling, almost like deep
sizzling.
Yeah, sizzling pig face. It is so
and we like it a lot too. You know why, Ken? Like what's put on top?
Oh, an egg. Yeah.
Yes. And not just like a fried egg. They actually put a raw egg on top before service. So as it's sizzling, the egg will naturally cook, and you just take the egg all together and mix everything up, and the egg will slowly cook through the whole thing.
Yeah. It's so good. And like it's kind of funny because if you think, oh yeah, you want some sizzling pig face, you're probably going to turn it down. But my goodness, it's so good. But if someone orders you, actually, Anthony Bourdain, I think that's his favorite Filipino food is sisig, or it was.
Nice.
It was his favorite.
Well, I know he likes adobo too, but I guess I think adobo and sisig are up there with him.
Yeah. He talks about that a lot. So the sisig, beautiful. Gotta try that. Next up,
Ken, sorry, quick question. So with sisig, do you eat it with rice, or you just eat it as is, or it's eaten with other stuff? Correct.
It could be eaten with rice, but because of the saltiness of it, I just kind of eat it plain. And the reason why it's so popular in bar foods is because it goes really good with beer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that saltiness with the beer is really nice. As a matter of fact, I kind of wish I had a San Miguel, the Filipino beer, and was with my Filipino family right now. That'd be really nice. So yeah,
we're missing all our family, but our Filipinos family especially.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and then I guess because I've that was right, the mac and cheese festival. I think they serve sisig mac and cheese, which is that'd be a great combo, right? Just on top of like. Just because you need that side of starch along with all that grease. So it's good. So
that's why I asked if you eat with rice. Like I think I would eat with rice just because of the saltiness and the fat with it, just to soak everything up. All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
This is actually we're revisiting from episode 8. Episode 8, we talked about whale blubber.
Yes.
And we are able to get some whale blubber. We're not going to go into the whole story, but basically Jeff's wife, Diana, went to, I was going to say Iqaluit, right?
Yeah, Iqaluit.
Iqaluit. Came home with some whale blubber.
Yes, that is right. And actually, this came up recently in one of my Facebook memories, and I remember that a lot. It came up with some whale blubber, and I brought some to try, like with Ken, my son, his son Dylan, and his friend Colton. We tried some. We didn't have it properly. I cut it too thick, and we did find it a bit chewy. And then I was told later that week that Malaya, the one who gave Diana the whale blubber, said, no, you have to do it like matchstick thin and have it with some soy sauce. So I brought what I had left to work, and I did what she instructed, and it was much better. Because it was so thin, and I cut it against the grain. Yeah, you're able to chew it better and just have that sort of more experience with it.
So, in the show notes, we're going to show that video of Colton and Dylan and Jeff and myself eating that whale blubber. And we didn't do it justice. I wish we had done it properly.
Yeah.
Because the video looks like we're insulting the whale blubber.
Yeah.
I don't want I don't want that. And Jeff had it properly with the matchstick. And it's just fat, right? It's basically chewy whale fat.
Just chewy fat.
And it's narwhal, which is kind of
fun. That is right. Yes.
Actually, I just saw last night, I was revisiting the movie Elf because it is Christmas season.
I saw it this morning. Yes, that's right.
So, and there is Mr. Narwhal is in that movie. And so that's what we ate. So that's great. And again, we found it very chewy. We had it with some soy sauce, but it's going to be hard for you to get a hold of. So, but if you have a chance to do it properly. Like look it up and look at that up on the internet. But we'll have a video of us eating that. So that's episode 8. Revisit that. Santos Brothers Eat food worth mentioning. Next on the list, durian. So
Durian. Yes.
Yeah, that's
So
episode 17, by the way, right?
yeah, so we've done this before, but just to recap, durian is a large football-shaped fruit with sort of spikes on it.
Yep.
It looks dangerous, but when you open it up, it even smells dangerous.
It's even more dangerous when you open it. It's just
yeah. Exactly right.
I would consider durian like the ultimate, maybe not the ultimate, but a certainly high-ranking food fight food. Like, if you're ever throwing food at someone, that might be one at the top of the list to throw.
Oh yeah,
because it's wet like a fruit. It's soft like a fruit inside, and it really smells bad. And one of the claims is that it was a university. Was it Australia, Jeff?
Yes, it was Australia. Yeah,
a university in Australia. Someone had left it in their locker or left it in a room, and they evacuated the place.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't figure out what on earth it was.
That says.
So we actually had a chance to try it finally earlier this year at Yang's.
Yes.
And we just saw it on the list, and we thought, well, let's try it. We even did the video, so the video is going to be in our show notes as well. It's up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's something kind of like how Jeff mentioned with the stinky tofu. It's something that I tried it to say that I tried it, but I'm never having that again. As a matter of fact, I didn't even finish it.
No,
so
none of us did. And Dylan walked off camera.
Yeah, Dylan walked off camera. We ended up giving it to our parents, and they ate it later on.
They ate it. They were fine with it. They said, no, not bad. Still good.
It does not taste like a fruit to me. It's not a fruit.
No.
It tastes like it. You know what? It tastes like rotten onions. That's what it tastes like to me.
Okay. So have you had it as is before?
No, I've never had it. Well, I had the pastry, and then we had it kind of like the durian candy.
Yeah.
We ended up having that. Our parents. We went on a 50th anniversary cruise with our parents. It was the whole family. It was me, Mason, Jeff, Diana, Dylan, and then our two parents. So it was just a great cruise.
Yeah.
And then we had some durian candy. I don't even know where it came from. I think we brought it. I think Mom bought it in the Philippines.
Yeah, I believe so.
And then we happened to bring it on the ship. I think we did it just for the purposes of doing a video.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, we did.
So that's something that we spit out. So.
Yeah, exactly. I think I've had a small piece of fresh durian before. And same reaction. It's like, oh, this is durian. I didn't finish that piece either. I'm almost sure I didn't.
Even Andrew Zimmern on Bizarre Foods, he was trying some sort of milkshake drink, and he just looked at the can and says, there's durian in this. And my producers know that I don't like durian. I don't know why they gave this to me. And he didn't end up finishing it. So it's not for everyone, but there's people that love it. There's people that really enjoy it. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's if you're Filipino, if there's members of your family that like it. I'm talking about the ones that still live in the Philippines, that they just love it. Because I wouldn't be surprised if there's members of our family, Jeff, that they like durian. They're probably not allowed to eat it inside, but you like it. So,
exactly right. Yeah. An acquired taste again. That's what it is.
One of those things, and so that's durian. That is a fruit, but it also comes in a pastry if you like it, and you can get that here in Toronto at Yang's, or durian candy. Actually, you probably have to order that on Amazon or something if you want to try that, or if you're in Asia. And then moving along, we got some eggs. Two types of eggs. We're going to start with balut. Jeff, explain what balut is.
So balut is the fermented duck embryo. So basically, they took the duck and they let it rest, incubated it, just to the point where you see the actual baby duck still in the egg. And then they ferment it in the fermenting process. And once that's done, they actually will eat it like that. So yes, you are eating a small duckling that's still in the egg.
So I remember the first time I had it, I must have been pretty young, maybe 4, maybe 5. And Mom gave me an egg. This was in the Philippines. And I just started eating it and I liked it. Right. So did you first have it in the Philippines, Jeff?
No, actually, to be honest, you know what? Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I was in the Philippines. I turned 5 in the Philippines. I remember that's my first exposure to balut itself. Yeah.
So let me explain about how mature or immature this duck embryo is. This duck embryo is so immature that you could just punch a little hole in the egg, like about the size of like a pen, like the center, like of a pencil eraser, and you could actually suck it out. So it's really, really soft.
Oh yeah.
I can imagine some of our listeners just their stomach is just churning, thinking that we're sucking an embryo through this hole in an egg. But that's that's how it is.
That's how it is.
I want to tell you is that all of the bones in that chicken, or sorry, in that duck, in that embryo, they're all soft. There's no feathers and there's no beak. So it's all just soft and it actually tastes pretty good. Now, from what I understand is that you can actually just buy these in Manila just on the side of the road because people are just selling them. If you buy them, either have someone that's local buy them for you or give it okay, because if they're too cheap, then the embryo is too mature, meaning you might have a mouthful of feathers or a beak or something, and you don't want that. So, I mean, so instead of, for example, I don't know how much they are now, but for example, go ahead and pay 25 pesos for it instead of 10 pesos. If it's 10 pesos, then it's too old already or something like that. So there's something to think about. But yeah, and I didn't realize that it was fermented. I just thought it was mature and they just...
Sorry, I meant fertilized. I apologize. So it's a fertilized...
Yes, there we go.
I apologize.
There we go. So you could definitely have that. You can get that at just about any Asian grocery store here in Toronto. I will warn you though, this will happen to me in Salt Lake. I ended up buying some balut in Salt Lake and it was a Vietnamese store. And I'm glad that they asked me if I was Filipino.
Oh.
Because they looked at me and said, that's raw. So just imagine, if I didn't realize that I had to cook this thing, I would have opened this thing up and just sucked up a raw egg, like a raw embryo.
Oh, I see.
So just make sure, like if you're going to go ahead and take the plunge and try this thing out, find out if it's cooked or not, and either go and get a cooked one or find out how long you got to cook it for, because you want to make sure you cook it properly.
Correct.
So, and I remember I didn't end up buying it because I didn't want to bother cooking it and I didn't want to bother cooking it.
Yeah, the process.
So I just I went to a Filipino place and they already have it cooked and I already tried it there. So balut, something that I love. And if it's BALUT, we don't have any videos of us eating balut, but there are dozens, if not hundreds, maybe even thousands of people trying out balut on YouTube.
Yeah. So and plus too, if you just look at some seasons of Survivor or the Joe Rogan show, a Fear Factor.
Fear Factor.
There are at least maybe 10 episodes of them eating balut. And I always said, if your food is featured on Survivor or Fear Factor as one of the food challenges, then that's an accomplishment right there.
But speaking of food and eggs that were on Fear Factor, we have the century egg. I think on Fear Factor it was called the 100-year-old egg. And if you talk to like Asian grocery stores, they actually refer to the 1,000-year-old egg.
Yeah.
Because when I said century egg, they didn't know what I was talking about. But then when I pointed out, I said, they sell a 1,000-year-old egg. It's not really 1,000 years old.
No.
What is it, Jeff?
So this is the fermented egg, I meant to say.
This is what
it's a raw egg. They ferment it. There's many processes of fermenting 1,100-year-old egg. Look it up on YouTube. And so basically what happens is the structure of the egg, they don't actually cook the egg. So when you think of a hard-boiled egg, you think of the egg white, solid egg white, and solid egg yolk. The internals of the egg do solidify, but because it's a chemical process, both the white and the yolk will become almost like a black or grayish white and a very dark yolk, like black yolk.
Like almost green, actually.
Yeah. And translucent. Like it's very, very surreal to look at when you first open it up.
Yeah, and actually, the what part is normally white, I always think of it looks like almost like Coca-Cola. Like if it was Coca-Cola was yellow. Like it's like a yellow, but like brown, like dark brown, like that. You can almost see through it. It's pretty interesting. It does not smell at all very appetizing. No, but this is something that I do eat. Like I will go to the grocery store and just eat one. I remember when I was living in Salt Lake, our office was, I don't know, maybe a 10-minute walk away from an Asian grocery store. And I was looking around in there and I said, oh, look, century eggs. And I brought them into my office to eat. And one of my office mates came in and just said, what on earth are you eating? And I said, well, and I explained to him, I said, they're century eggs. And so and I said, do you want to try one? And he was very nervous about trying one. His name is Adam. And actually, we took a video. We took a video of him eating that century egg. That video is actually on our channel. And nice. We'll leave a link of that as well in the show notes. Jeff, I believe you're not a big fan, are you?
I'm not a big fan of century egg.
Yeah.
I think it's just the texture and the smell of both.
Yeah, I'm not saying it smells the best, and it's not something that, like, it's something that you have to eat with something else. So you have to eat it with a lot of rice or a lot of bread, or it's popular in congee. Actually,
yes,
you know,
yeah,
you can actually get it. And actually, you don't even have to go to like anywhere special to get it in congee. You like before, like they would have it at certain like even like food courts that serve congee, like in downtown Toronto would, you know, they just made offer century egg in their congee. So it's not super rare, you know, but you know, to a lot of people, very weird. Just looking at the thing looks very strange to some people. So that's the century egg. Moving on to some sweet stuff. And this is my first exposure to this was, it's called queso real. It's a type of ice cream. Those of you that speak Spanish will know that it means cheese ice cream. And when I say cheese ice cream, you might think, oh, maybe it's like an Italian type of dessert cheese like ricotta or mascarpone. No, it's not. It's like almost like American or cheddar cheese flavored ice cream. And I remember when I first heard about it, this was at a Baskin Robbins in the Philippines. So just a regular, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. And they said, and I remember I was with my cousin, it was Claire, and she was just listing off the flavors. And I said, whoa, there's cheese ice cream? He said, oh yeah, it's really good. And I thought I thought it was really, really strange. And I'll tell you, cheese ice cream is probably one of my top 5 flavors. Like it's like, I really genuinely enjoy it. And there's even chunks of cheese in it.
That's it. It's like the classic sweet and salty, you know, mixture together.
Yeah. Mason had it. I remember we did one at a pool party where you serve it. Yeah. And a lot of people, they did like it. You know,
they realized this is not too bad. We found ours at FV Foods, like a Filipino grocery store, and it was readily available there. So it is in Toronto, and I'm pretty sure most of North America you could find queso royale or cheese ice cream.
Yeah, it's made by Magnolia, which was bought by Nestle, I think. But if you go to an Asian grocery store, I'd be surprised if you can't find it. Because, you know, it'll be beside the ube ice cream. Ube is the purple yam ice cream, or the coconut ice cream, or the mango ice cream. I would be very surprised if queso real is not there. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's there. That's what I'd rather say about that. And so, and again, it's one of my top 5 flavors. Like, it is one of my favorite flavors of ice cream. The thing is that when you're getting specialty ice cream like that, it's like $12 a pint, or maybe 9, or, you know, but I think 9. You can't get it for $2 to $5 like you can like a, you know, chocolate or vanilla. You know, it's going to cost more.
Yeah, for sure.
So that you're aware. And then we have a variation on halo halo. And Jeff, what is halo halo?
So halo halo is the Filipino dessert where it's shaved ice, and then sort of like candied fruits, and either ice cream or condensed milk mixed together. It's very cooling. It's very refreshing. Filipino dessert.
So that sounds fine, right? It's like, you know, ice and fruit with a little bit of sometimes condensed milk, sometimes evaporated milk. And then there's these candied, you know, sometimes there's fresh fruit, you know, like fresh mango or something like that. And sometimes they have like candied fruit as well, which is kind of nice. But when we were growing up, we actually had a dish called maíz con hielo, which, you know, if you speak Spanish, I believe that translates to corn with ice. And we always thought that this maíz con hielo that we're given, we always thought that was halo halo. And here is the ingredients. It's shaved ice, evaporated milk, cream corn, and a little bit of sugar. And I remember some of my neighbor friends would always say, "You're eating that corn thing again." And it's something that I love. I love maíz con hielo. That is actually, they actually make a maíz con hielo ice cream, which is that goes into one of my top 5 as well. Like I love.
Nice.
But yeah, that is, people think, corn as a dessert, kind of strange, but it is a sweet vegetable.
It is. And
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this before, but or maybe not. So that, like Ken said, that was our version of halo halo. So we only saw cream corn as part of a dessert item. So for many, many years, I thought cream corn was dessert only. And then I actually went, had dinner up in Barrie at Dylan's mom's place for the first time with her parents. And they served cream corn on the side. And I thought to myself, oh, you're serving dessert at the same time on the same plate. And they looked at me strangely going, what are you talking about? Well, the cream corn is for dessert. He goes, no, it's the side. Then I explained to them what we had, our version of halo halo is. And yeah, they were really like, what?
Yeah, it seems kind of strange. And when Jeff says many years, we're talking like, Jeff was already a teenager when and he still thought cream corn was dessert. So, that's just kind of part of our culture, so for the longest time.
And I guess too, like that version of halo halo, we've had it for many years. And it wasn't until, I guess, we went to the Philippines, or even before that, we realized that actual halo halo was more of the shaved ice with ice cream and other fruits, not just corn.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just different regions of where our parents and our relatives grew up. That's where their halo halo was, or just they were accustomed to that version of halo halo more than the sort of quote unquote authentic version.
Absolutely. And if I understand correctly, authentic halo halo, I don't even think it includes corn. Like,
no,
I just think, just the version we had, my parents called it halo halo. I thought it was halo halo, but really that's maíz con hielo. So, which I guess is kind of like a version, but if you go and get halo halo at a Filipino food truck somewhere or at a Filipino restaurant, they probably won't have cream corn on it, which if you ask me is really a shame, because that's like the best part of it. So, yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm on board with that too. So you know what? Today, what did we talk about today? Just going down the list. Talk about, we started off with stinky tofu, some whale blubber, different types of durian, different types of egg, both the century egg and the balut, cheese ice cream, maíz con hielo. Oh, I forgot we talked about sisig earlier.
Yes.
Definitely food worth mentioning. Some foods we'll never have again. Some foods we love to eat, and we've expressed that. But that is certainly this week's food worth mentioning. And we look forward to next time where we talk about more food worth mentioning. Right, Jeff?
That is right. And until next time, remember this quote from Julia Child: people who love to eat are always the best people.
That, of course, includes my brother, Chef Jeff Santos, and I'm his brother, Kenny Santos, and you as well, if you love to eat food worth mentioning. Thanks a lot, everybody.
All right, take care. Welcome to Santos Brothers Eats.
Food worth mentioning.